You got questions, I got answers. Questions, answers, questions, answers.
That's right, everybody. Today on Fiverr Talks, we're doing our very first Fiverr Q&A session where we take your questions and give them my experience and my answers after being a full-time seller and a top-rated seller for almost 8 years here on the platform. I'm ready to answer your questions and help you get to that next level, whatever it is in your Fiverr journey. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Joel Young. I'm top-rated seller DJ Young on Fiverr. I've been doing this since 2013, and this channel is devoted to helping you become a better seller, a better buyer, to use the Fiverr platform better in your life to gain whatever you're after. But I want to start off by saying, if you have a question, leave me the question below. We will consider it for a future Q&A episode. We are going to hopefully make this a weekly session where we have enough questions from great people like you that we can sit down every single week and talk about these videos. And we do this every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There's new videos posted Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays where we're giving you tips, tools, and ideas on how to make your Fiverr business better. All right, so without any further ado, let's jump into our first question. It comes from Midnight Rose, aka Christine from Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. She later said in another comment, so I used to live in Louisville. My oldest son was born in Louisville. How cool is that? So welcome, Christine, to the channel. Thank you so much for leaving us your question. Here is what she says. She says, "Hey, Joel, I'm Christine from Kentucky. I'm new to Fiverr, and I've got a couple of questions." Well, you're in the right place. One, can I put the link to my portfolio in my Fiverr descriptions? And two, as a digital Fiverr, aka photo enhancements and background removal, should I do a video collage of some of my work? I'm super nervous about talking on camera. Those are great questions, and I think they're questions that are worth asking, because when you're new to Fiverr, you have to find new ways to promote yourself. And we talk about this in a few of our other videos, that you just don't have the ratings or the reviews or the history on the platform to make buyers comfortable yet. And so you've got to do something to show them that you have experience, that you know what you're doing. You may be new to Fiverr, but you're not new to this skill, and help them become comfortable with making those first few purchases as you're building your online store. So I'll just tackle these questions one by one. The first one being, can I put a link to my portfolio in my Fiverr descriptions? The answer is yes, you can put a link in your Fiverr gig description, but know that that link will not be clickable. This makes it very difficult when you're trying to get people to check out your portfolio elsewhere. Fiverr doesn't love links in the gig description. In fact, you have to watch what you're linking. For instance, you would not be allowed to leave a link to a web page where your portfolio was sitting, where you also encouraged people to purchase work from you on that site. I know things like YouTube links I have used in the past and are approved. They're kind of a safe place. People share YouTube links a lot. So I've posted YouTube links, and from my experience, I can tell you, you're allowed to put YouTube links in that description. They're not clickable. Someone would have to copy and paste it into their browser. But I've done that with some success before, knowing people have used it. But Fiverr does not view YouTube as a potentially threatening URL that might try to pull business away from the platform. That's what they want to avoid. So they would probably not care if you posted a URL and simply had that in there to a portfolio site where that's all it was. But if it advertised your services or had your contact information and said, hey, contact me, that would raise a red flag. So here would be my suggestion. Either use an approved and safe site like YouTube, or reach out to customer service and say, hey, I'd like to include a link in my gig description. Here's the link to the website. Can I do that? It never hurts to ask, and they're really helpful. So I think that would be a great idea. But yeah, I have used YouTube links. They're not great because you can't click on them, but it is one way to get people to check out your other stuff, and something I actually suggest in one of my other videos. Your other question was, should you do some sort of video collage for your work? You're super nervous about being on camera. Let me just tell you one thing. Everybody is nervous about being on camera at first. The first time I was on camera, I was horrible at it. I look back at those videos and I laugh because I was not good, because I was nervous. I was not being myself. But the truth is, if you want to succeed on Fiverr, if it's truly your goal, you have to get better at being on camera. I truly believe that, which is why in the future I'm going to be developing some courses to help people get better on camera, because it's part of what helps make you successful on the platform. I don't believe you can be that successful on Fiverr without being on camera, or being at least okay with being on camera, because what people want to see when they're searching on Fiverr is not who has the best service, but who is the person I can trust the most. And they trust the people that they can see, that seem real, that seem authentic. If there's a profile that has kind of like a fake looking stock photo profile picture, which happens a lot. People grab profile pictures of, other people, or Google images that aren't them, and they throw them in their profile section, but you can tell that's not them. That's just some kind of stock art. Maybe their gig video is nothing but animation. There's no sound, there's no voice. It just shows like a collage, like you said. That makes it much more difficult for buyers to engage with you as a seller and to buy from you, because what they want is a relationship. At the end of the day, they're placing this money in your hands, saying, I trust you as a person, as a seller, not just your abilities, but you. And I want you to work on my project. I can tell you from personal experience, the personal relationship with a buyer and seller is much more important sometimes than even the quality of work. They'll pass over better quality work to get work from somebody they can have a quality relationship with. So my encouragement to you is to learn how to be better at on camera. Practice it, get on camera a lot, do yourself a favor and grow that skill, because you need it on Fiverr. You absolutely should appear on camera in your gig video, and you should absolutely get better at that skill. So I hope that answers your question, Christy, and I hope that you have great success as you're getting out there on Fiverr and putting your skills and your services on the interwebs on Fiverr for people to see, and definitely put your face out there. So great questions. Thanks for asking them. Our next question comes from Silvano. Ooh, that's a steely name, Silvano. Silvano says, hey, thanks for your videos. You're very welcome. I'm a newbie. As a newbie seller, they're a great help to me. We're excited to hear that, because that's who we create these videos for. Everybody, but especially those of you that are new. One question I did not manage to get an answer for on Fiverr seller support is there a limit to the number of gigs that I can set up before I reach level 1? That's a great question, Silvano, and not one that a lot of people are asking, but there is a limit. And I wrote down the exact limits on here so that I could share them with you. If you do not have a level status, so you're pre-level 1, you can only have 7 gigs. Once you reach level 1, you can have 15 gigs. Once you reach level 2, you can have 20. And once you reach level 3, or I'm sorry, not level 3, top rated seller, it goes level 1, level 2, top rated seller, you can have up to 30 gigs. But within that, I will say this, Fiverr got very serious several years ago about making sure that no one has duplicate gigs, meaning that in the old days when I started, we could have like multiple gigs that basically offered the same thing, but in a different way. Maybe the wording was different for SEO. So for instance, I had several gigs where I sold animated explainer videos, but eventually they asked me to take some of those down because they were really duplicate gigs offering the same service with different keywords. This is just a way to prevent sellers from having the stacking keywords and trying to have the same service offered in different ways. So they really do need to be unique services if you're going to create a new gig for them. My overall advice for you would be start with 1 gig and run that for at least a month, maybe 2. Get some solid sales under your belt as a seller, and then start to think about what's my second gig or offering. If you're a brand new seller and you're offering 10 gigs and you have no sales on any of them, then you're really not that attractive to a potential buyer. What you should do is you should start with 1 gig and start, or maybe if you have 2 extremely unique services, offer 2, but make that number small. Get started with something, prove that you can sell on the platform, focus on just that service, that 1 gig, and then once you're rolling, look at how you can expand. Don't try to run before you can walk. So even though you can have up to 7 gigs before you have a level 1 certification, I don't think you need that. Currently, I'm one of Fiverr's top earners of all time. I've never had more than 5 or 6 gigs. I think I only have 5 currently. But truthfully, you don't need a ton of gigs in order to make great money on Fiverr. You just need to have those gigs that you do have offered and do have public need to be really well done. And that's the reason you don't need to spread it out over 7 gigs before you're a level 1. You need to spend all your time making sure that 1 gig, that 1 gig page, that 1 gig video, that 1 gig thumbnail, all your service to that 1 gig is great before you do anything else. And if you do that, you'll be successful. You'll reach those other levels. And that's all you should do in the beginnings, is worry about that one very starting gig, the very first thing you offer, and make that a success first. So hope that answers your question. Thanks for watching, Silvano. Our last question comes from Fazil Bashir. Fazil, thanks so much for your question. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to have to clean up some of the English on this to get to the heart of his question. But he says, I want to know what questions should I ask a client to relate to them in creating a design that will win their trust? Basically, I think what you're asking is, how do I get clients to trust me after they've purchased from me? What do I say to them to get them to trust me in this process? I would say absolutely the first thing you need to do is you need to let them in on your process. You need to pull back the curtain, so to speak. If you've ever seen the movie Wizard of Oz, they walk into the giant hall where the great wizard is, and there's the giant face of the wizard, and they kind of notice that there's movement behind a curtain, so they go and pull the curtain back, and there's a guy operating all these levers and pulleys that's making the wizard, function up on the wall. And, it's a really pivotal point in the movie. They figure out the wizard is not real. It's really this guy pulling the levers behind the curtain. In today's market, that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing. You need to pull that curtain back, let your customers see how you're making the product, let them into your process, and that will build trust. If customers are communicated with well, and if you're keeping lines of communication and a transparent process in front of them, they're going to not only trust you, but they're really going to be excited about what you're doing for them and what you can do for them. So my suggestion would be simply let them in on the process, keep them updated, tell them what you're doing, when you're doing it, and sometimes even how you're doing it, and it'll build that rapport and that trust all along the way, so that when you deliver, there's no shock, there's no surprise. They've been with you the whole time, and they can seamlessly transition from a buyer to a reviewer of your services. So I hope that answers your question. And those questions are all we've got today. That's all we've got time for. I am really appreciative for those of you that did send in questions. Like I said, if you have a question, please leave it down below. We are going to look over all these questions. You'll get a response from me. We're going to talk about these things that you need help with, so that we can help you grow as a seller or a buyer or just a user of Fiverr in general. So be sure to leave those questions below. We'll get to them, and we're going to do future Q&A videos, hopefully very regularly. So thanks again for watching the Fiverr Talks YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joel. I'm thankful that you've been here. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not miss out on this great content we're putting out every single week, because it's all for you guys and gals. And remember, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.